This happened on Halloween night, 2023. I was 28, living alone in a ground floor apartment in the Old Mill district of a mid-sized river city that still pretends it's a small town. The complex was built in the 1920s, red brick, creaky radiators, windows that rattle when freight trains roll past on the elevated tracks 2 blocks over. My unit faced the courtyard, a patch of dying grass, one sickly maple, and a shared laundry room that always smelled like mildew and someone else's dryer sheets. I liked the place because rent was cheap and the walls were thick enough to muffle the upstairs neighbor's domestic opera. I didn't like it because the courtyard gate never fully latched and the motion sensor floodlight had been broken since August. I'm a sound engineer, mostly podcasts, some indie bands, the occasional corporate explainer nobody watches. Halloween fell on a Tuesday that year, which meant I'd spent the day in my living room mixing a true crime series about a serial arsonist. Irony is a cruel editor. By 8 p.m., I was fried, ears ringing from hours of headphones, eyes dry from staring at waveforms. I'd promised myself a reward: delivery from the Korean Mexican fusion truck parked downtown, a six-pack of pumpkin ale, and a rewatch of The Thing with the subwoofer cranked. I turned off the porch light, a single bulb in a rusted sconce, hung a laminated "No candy, sorry" sign I'd made at 2 a.m. the night before, and locked the deadbolt. The courtyard was already empty. Most families with kids lived in the suburbs an hour away, and the college students who infested the district preferred bar crawls and zombie makeup. At 9:03 p.m., the first anomaly hit. I was plating bulgogi tacos when the building's Wi-Fi dropped. Not unusual. Our router was older than TikTok. But then my phone lost bars. Landline? Dead. I stepped onto the tiny back patio to check the signal. The courtyard was dark except for the orange glow of a single jack-o'-lantern someone had left on the laundry room steps. Its candle had gone out. The carved face sagged like it was melting. A breeze carried the smell of wet leaves and something acrid. Burnt plastic, maybe. I shrugged, went back inside, and chalked it up to the storm rolling in from the west. Thunder rumbled like a sub-bass drop. 9:17 p.m. A knock, 3 measured taps, on the front door. Not the frantic rat-a-tat of trick-or-treaters. I froze, sour kimchi halfway to my mouth. Through the peephole, nothing but the dim hallway and the flickering exit sign above the stairwell. I waited. 10 seconds. 20. Then soft shuffling, like sneakers on carpet, retreating toward the elevators. I texted the group chat with my buddies. Anyone prank knocking? No replies. Still no signal. 9:29 p.m. The power flickered, once, twice, then steadied. My studio monitors whined, a high-pitched protest. I killed the lights to save the gear and lit a candle. The fat 3-wick one my mom sends every autumn that smells like a pumpkin spice cult. Shadows jitterbugged across the exposed brick. That's when I noticed the smell again, stronger now, threading through the apartment. Not plastic, ozone, like a subway rail right before the spark. I keep a small fire safe under the couch. External hard drives, passport, a Glock 43 I bought after a stalker client doxed me 2 years ago. I'm licensed, trained, and still hate the weight of it. I didn't touch it yet. Instead, I grabbed the tactical flashlight I use for location recording, 1,200 lumens, strobe function, basically a handheld sun. I opened the front door a crack, chain still latched. The hallway was empty, but the overhead bulb flickered in a rhythm. 3 short, 3 long, 3 short. SOS in Morse. Cute. I shut the door, heart doing drum and bass. That's when the second knock came. Not at the door, but at the bedroom window. The bedroom faces the courtyard. The window is 6 feet off the ground. I crept through the dark, flashlight off, and parted the blinds with 2 fingers. A figure stood beneath the dead floodlight. Tall, rail-thin, dressed head to toe in matte black. Hood, cargo pants, tactical boots. No mask, just a black balaclava with the mouth cut out, revealing pale lips and a strip of chin. They held a small device, maybe a phone, screen glowing green. As I watched, they raised it and aimed at my window. My smart thermostat, visible on the nightstand, beeped and reset to 55 degrees Fahrenheit. The radiator clanked like it was offended. The figure tilted their head, listening, then tapped the device again. My laptop on the desk woke up, screen blooming white. The cursor moved on its own, opening files, raw audio of the arsonist episodes, unedited interviews, victim names redacted but still sensitive. I yanked the blind shut and killed the laptop's power strip. My phone buzzed. Finally, a bar of LTE, a single push notification from an app I'd never downloaded. Courtyard Cam live feed requested. I opened it. The screen showed a night vision view of the courtyard from an angle I didn't recognize, until I saw my own kitchen window in the frame. Someone had mounted a camera on the laundry room roof. Timestamp, real time. In the feed, a second figure stepped into view, this one shorter, wearing the same black kit, but with a GPORO strapped to their chest. They waved at the lens, then pointed directly at my apartment. The chat overlay scrolled, user 322. She's watching user 008. Drop the temp again, user 141. Bet she grabs the gun in less than 3 minutes. I killed the app. But the feed reopened itself. I force quit. It reopened. I powered the phone off completely. The laptop, still unplugged, chimed. A new folder had appeared on the desktop, Halloween_mix. Inside, a single WAV file, 3 minutes and 33 seconds long. I hesitated, then played it on battery power only. My own voice recorded weeks ago during a test take. Fire doesn't lie. It consumes what's real and leaves the truth in ash. Then a child's voice distorted. We're here to burn the lies. The radiator hissed. The temperature plummeted. My breath fogged. Frost spiderwebbed across the inside of the bedroom window. I grabbed the Glock, racked the slide, and moved to the kitchen. The candle had gone out. In the dark, I could see the courtyard through the patio slider. Both figures now standing side by side, motionless. The tall one raised the device. Every smart bulb in the complex, even the ones in vacant units, flashed red in perfect sync. Then the emergency sprinklers triggered. Cold water blasted from the ceiling, soaking me, the couch, the tacos. The fire alarm screamed. I bolted for the front door, barefoot, gun in hand, water sluicing off me. The hallway was already filling with confused neighbors in pajamas. Mrs. Cho from 2B clutched her cat. The grad students from 3A filmed on their phones. I shouted that there were intruders in the courtyard, pointed toward the back stairs. Someone dialed 911. Sirens were already close. Turns out the sprinkler trigger auto-alerts the fire department. By the time we spilled into the courtyard, the figures were gone. But the jack-o'-lantern on the laundry steps had been relit. Inside, instead of a candle, a road flare sputtered, red, angry, spitting magnesium. Carved into the pumpkin's forehead in shaky lines, "See you next track." Firefighters arrived in under 4 minutes. They killed the sprinklers, ventilated the building, and took statements. Police found the rooftop camera, wireless, battery-powered, streaming to a dark web onion site with 2,300 live viewers. The GoPro was zip-tied to the maple, still recording. On it, 47 minutes of footage starting at 8:58 p.m., them cutting the courtyard gate chain, disabling the floodlight with a slingshot and ball bearing, planting the camera, hacking the building's ancient IoT system with a Raspberry Pi. They'd been inside the laundry room for 22 minutes, close enough to hear me through the thin walls. The Arsonist podcast had aired its finale 2 weeks earlier. The perpetrator, never caught, had used similar tactics. Cutting power, triggering alarms, live streaming chaos. The intruders weren't copycats. They were fans. The tall one's voice, undistorted in the GoPro audio, matched a commenter who'd been DMing me for months. "Your mix on episode 6 made me cry. Let's collaborate." I'd ignored him. His handle at Spark Psalm. Police raided an off-campus apartment at 2 a.m. Found the couple, both 19, audio production majors, along with burner laptops, thermal paste for overheating smart devices, and a 3D printed Glock, lower printed in orange filament, for the aesthetic. Their manifesto: they wanted to remix reality and force me into a live season 2 episode. The road flare was meant to be the opening shot, the sprinklers a misfire. Charges: felony stalking, computer fraud, reckless endangerment, arson prep. The dark web stream raised $14,000 in crypto before it was nuked. My insurance covered water damage but not therapy. I moved 3 states away, took contract work under a pseudonym, and now mix in a windowless basement studio with a keypad door and a dog the size of a small motorcycle. Every October, I get a single email from a random Proton address. Same subject line, new stems attached. No body, just a 3-second audio file, a match strike, then my own voice from that night, soaked and shaking. Police! Intruders in the courtyard. I forward it to the detective. He says the couple's still inside, but their appeals cites artistic expression. The wheels of justice turn slower than a corrupted WAV. Tonight is Halloween again. I'm writing this on a laptop with the Wi-Fi card physically removed. The dog is asleep across the doorway. Outside, the porch light is off. The deadbolt is thrown, and the only sound is the radiator ticking like a countdown. If you're reading this and your smart thermostat just dropped 5 degrees for no reason, unplug it, check the courtyard, and whatever you do, don't open the attachment.